Hey everybody, it's Jim with Triple J Bricks. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to do a little update video, kind of discuss some of the things that I've just been working on here in the LEGO room. But the big thing we have to talk about is our space, our studio space, and more specifically, our display space. Now, as you may have seen in previous videos, this is a newer space and it is smaller than our previous space. And so I have to be very realistic about the sets that I can display, the builds that I want to create, and what I want to kind of focus on moving forward. And the big thing that we have to talk about today, because of all that, is Rivendell. Before we get into all that, though, I wanted to show you, this actually just came in today. I was not expecting this order to come in until tomorrow, but it came in today and I was going to record this video anyway, so I figured I might as well update you. I did a pick and build order from lego.com. And I just went through and made sure that all of the parts are accounted for. They all were, which is sometimes not always the case when you get parts from pick and build, but actually I ended up getting one more of quite a few of the, like, especially these the masonry bricks, but basically, as you might be able to gather, I got a lot of parts that were all on the bestseller list, because they added a bunch of new parts to the bestseller list, or at least ones that I hadn't seen before, and I was just kind of on the website and I was looking through and I made an order, but thinking about our castle mocks and all of that stuff that we're going to be doing in the future, and I'm just kind of slowly gathering pieces part by part here. So I got a bunch of minifigure parts and some masonry bricks and different greenery elements and just some kind of odds and ends, little things that I think will be really useful in any castle build. So I just went through that today, and we're all good, so those will go right into my inventory. Okay, so before we talk about Rivendell, I just kind of want to show you the shelving that we have here in the LEGO room. I did show this in my studio tour, but this is just for people who maybe haven't seen it. So this is currently the shelf display setup. Now, of course, there's nothing really displayed here. This shelf is sort of operating right now as just like a place to put sets and things. So we have the Barracuda base set that still needs to get built, and a bunch of things over there. There's the Seinfeld set. Actually, we have the office set that is actually going to be built tomorrow. By the time you see this video, though, that will already have been built, but we're going to be doing our first YouTube live stream, our first live build. So I would say check it out, but you're going to see this video too late, so, but, stay tuned for more live builds, because I'm sure we'll do it, but we're going to be multicasting over on Twitch and YouTube, so that's going to get built tomorrow, but that was up there. And then I have the 3-in-1 Viking ship. I'm going to part that one out, because we do already have one up there, and I kind of want to work on some, like, mock, maybe some stuff off Rebrickable to attach to potentially the Viking village, or do some Viking stuff up on the top shelf there in the future. I probably should just kind of put that one somewhere else, because that's a ways away yet. But yes, this one I definitely owe the Twitch audience, so I might end up, if the multicasting goes well over on YouTube, I might just multicast and do live build of the Barracuda base set as well. So anyway, eventually there will be some stuff displayed here, but like the Seinfeld set and the Office set are probably going to go up here. And, some other things, like I'm trying to keep, I don't know, keep in mind that there's going to be more stuff here. But basically how it's going to work is I want this shelf, for now, I want this shelf to be pirates. And I have older sets that I have to build yet. Some of my older sets that I still want to like build and display will probably also go up here in some regard. But this shelf, this is sort of the main shelf, right? This is the one that kind of sits behind my computer, and yeah, so this is like the main display shelf. It's also the tallest shelf. So this is going to display pirates for now, and anything that I work on there. And then probably some Viking stuff up here, which leaves this space. Now, in the future, this space is going to be filled with base plates and a cool castle mock scene. In the meantime, it's probably going to just continue to display, other sets in the castle realm, such as these sets and things, and also any sort of like parts of castle mocks that I've put together and, just slowly get built up over time. And then the Viking village, which is sitting behind Rivendell, that will get moved up there. So that leaves Rivendell. Now, part of me, this is a very beautiful, and a very expensive set. And as much as I would love to display it, it's so pretty. And I've thought about it, and I've gone back and forth. It was sitting up in my wife's office, which used to be my old office, for way too long. And so I finally brought it down here because I was like, I have to do something with this because I can't leave it up there. She needs the space. And I have decided that it's kind of my first ever really large set that I'm going to part out and put away. I already did it with Assembly Square, which is also a very large set. But I also did that with Assembly Square because I just didn't have space to store it or at least display it right now. And I think because of, the lack of display space that we have in this studio, I'm just going to have to kind of cycle through the things that I want to display. And because I want to do some more mock type of stuff, I want to be able to have that room to work within the themes that I really, really love. And Rivendell is sort of just in the middle. And eventually, I want to display it. But the beauty of LEGO is that we can take it apart and we can put it back together, right? It's a shame to take it apart. It took forever to make that roof. I don't think I'm going to leave it intact. I don't know. I thought about just kind of breaking it down slightly and bagging up the parts, putting into a few bags, and then storing it. I thought about that because that would be easier if I ever wanted to build it back up again. Here's the dilemma. There are a lot of great parts in this Rivendell set. There's a lot of great greenery. I love all of these gray figs for statues, masonry bricks, sand green, all of this greenery and trees. All these gray elements are so good for the castle mock building that we want to do. Now, there's some that aren't as much, but so I think I'm going to part it out. I think I'm just going to take it apart slowly and put it into my inventory. And I know that kind of sucks and it kind of hurts, but at the same time, I think that's kind of the best move for right now. And I just kind of feel bad because it's an expensive set and it's gorgeous, but I also have to be realistic. So I think that's what I'm going to ultimately do, but it's going to have new life. A lot of these parts will have a new life in a beautiful castle mock scene that we'll make here at some point. And it will come back out again. It will get rebuilt and displayed at some point in the future when we have a larger space to do so. Or if I decide, I want to build it again and I want to display it here, right? Because this is kind of the only place I can go right now. So, maybe that is the case in the future. So anyway, I'm going to be taking it down, taking it apart. But what I did was I wanted to take, let's see if I can get them out of here. They're kind of on this base plate. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to display, at least as sort of an homage to what is left of Rivendell, is the original Fellowship. This is I just kind of put them on some olive green plate that I had, but I'm going to make a nicer sort of vignette for them. Maybe with a little bit of a backdrop or something or whatever, but this iconic image of the 9 companions. And so I'm going to keep these minifigs displayed up on a shelf somewhere, and they'll have a permanent home just as a reminder of it. And then the other minifigs that came with it, I think I'm going to end up using some of those minifig parts to build my own custom minifigs for a castle scene, for one of the factions or peasants or I don't know. I'm not really sure yet. But anyway, I wanted to let you know that this is what's going to happen with Rivendell, and I've made this decision. And it's tough, but it is kind of, it is just kind of what we're dealing with. And I love it. It was such a great build. It's a beautiful set. And, but you know what? Lego was meant to take apart and put back together, and so that's what we're gonna do. So I don't want to look at this from the perspective necessarily that it's sad and feels kind of like a waste. It's going to be, we have it, and we can always put it back together. So I hope maybe this video is somewhat valuable to some of you who also collect a lot of Lego and maybe are also dealing with space constraints, because it is real. And even if you have a large room, as Lego collectors and hobbyists, we often get more Lego than we need, right? And I think one of the biggest problems is space and figuring out what to do with it. And sometimes you have to make the decisions to cycle through the sets that you don't have the space or the room for to display. And this is kind of like my first time dealing with that, and I just kind of wanted to talk through it, I guess, on video and share that with you in hopes that maybe it'll help some of you justify in your head certain decisions you might want to make, and just kind of, I don't know, again, this is a whole thing about my creating and collecting journey, so this is kind of a big part of it. I mean, this set is gorgeous, but it is big. It's a big set, and but it'll get put to good use. It will have new life. So, everybody, thank you for coming along on this little vlog validation justification video. I don't know what this is, but that's what we're gonna do with Rivendell. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But until then, keep on building. Jim out!